I am live. Hello, world. SpaceX alive, but I don't know. We're just flying through the cosmos, I guess. Hey, 3D Medic was first. Josh and Paul. Howdy. I wanted to... Oh, here we go. Here we go. Look at this. Is this... No, this is all previous. Unfortunately, I forgot to do something before I started. And now... Oh, hang on. Where am I? There we go. So we just got a package. Oh, Cybertruck towing. What was that? An engine? Was that the monitors shaking in the control room as the? Is that what I saw there? If so, that was cool. Maybe I imagined that. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Unbelievable! Unbelievable! Yeah, they just shared that. I don't know if it's new or not, but I think Elon just shared the footage of it landing on the water, of the Starship landing on the water the other day. And damn, that was great. Good afternoon. Huh? Hello, Kate. Senior Quality Engineering Manager. And Dan Hewitt again. I like these guys. These guys are pretty good. 39 minutes. All right. That's live shot. Wow. If that's a live shot, I assume it is. It's fantastic. Wow. They're just churning these things out. It's incredible. Hey, very boring name, Roderick. Yeah, I didn't know this until I came in this morning. And I think Opto Isolated IO told me on Twitter. Who's got a website, by the way, with like a countdown of when the next thing is? Hey, Phoenix, Peter, I'm me, Anson, RB, Rassenbot. Hey, Addy. Oh, stressing the flaps. Right. So they're going to stress it again. Wow. Every flight test so far has been like a stress test. I don't believe they're going to orbit again. They're not going to orbit. They're still just flight testing this sucker. They're just dialing it in. And I think that's the idea. Where is audio? There's no audio. You should be hearing their audio. Or is that an old comment? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Hey, Carthor. Yeah, no audio. No audio from what, me or them? No SpaceX live stream. Oh, okay, yeah, yep. Thank you. All right. Double the height of the Millennium Falcon. I think yeah. Yeah, there we go.
The ship is about 52 meters
Sorry.
tall, and
Should
the
be
Super
right
Heavy
now.
booster alone stands at
Should be
about
fine now.
71 meters. So it's pretty big. And we do have plans to make the ship and booster even taller
Bloody
in the future,
StreamYard
if you
defaults
can
to
imagine.
the wrong
And
defaults
Starship
to
itself
the
features two
microphone
major
source
parts. We've
instead
got
of the
ship
XSplit
that's the
source.
fully reusable upper stage powered by 6 Raptor
Cool.
engines.
Thank you.
And then we have the Super Heavy
Audio's
booster
good.
that's fully reusable
How's
first
my
stage
shin?
with 33 of those
Oh, it's
Raptor
all
engines
right.
powering
It's
it.
going down.
Super Heavy, the most powerful rocket ever flown, designed to launch,
Oh.
return, refuel, launch again with zero refurb.
There it is, but it's going
And
down.
to make all of that happen,
Shin's all
we
right.
also have stage
Calf's
0.
no
That's
problem at the
everything
moment.
else you see
Damn.
around it that enables Starship
really
to fly.
sore
The
right
tower, the
calf.
orbital launch mount,
Don't know what
quick
I did to it.
disconnects, prop farm, everything.
But
Stage
damn.
0 is also just as critical
I did
to achieving that rapid
did an
reuse
aerobics
as
grid
Starship
class
itself.
last night at the gym. That was a
Back on
mistake, but I
the
booked it a week
rocket, the
ahead,
ship
and I didn't
features
want to
6
cancel
Raptors,
it.
3 of them for sea level
It's impossible
engines
to
and
get
3
into
for
the Monday
vacuum
class.
engines. Raptor
So,
Vacuum, or
yep.
RVAC, is a similar design to the Raptor engine, but features a larger
Spot of
exhaust
vinegar should
section
neutralize
and a larger expansion nozzle to maximize the engine's
They're a
efficiency
bit loud,
in
are they?
space.
Okay.
It's also designed for vertical takeoff
worries.
and landing on any
Cool.
hard surface, useful for when you're taking off from a place like
turn them down a
Mars
bit.
that's still
There we
waiting
go.
for its first
check.
launch tower.
I should be
And
louder
that
than
ship
them.
is outfitted with 4 flaps that are
I
used
think
to control the
StreamYard's doing
vehicle's
audio
attitude
leveling
during
as well.
subsonic flight, and
So,
to enable a
yeah.
precision landing, the 2 upper ones are right here. And then to achieve full reusability, the ship has to survive entry not just once, but multiple times. Every single time we send it up and
How's
bring
that?
it back.
Give me a
It does that with its
no-go,
heat shield, which we
no-go
iterate
on
every
their
single
audio
flight.
versus
We're
my
just building
audio.
towards a heat shield that requires no refurbishment. The one
About
today is
perfect.
still composed of those
Better.
thousands of
Bingo.
hexagonal ceramic
Perfect.
tiles. They're
Did I
designed
turn
to
it down a
insulate the
tad
vehicle
more
during that
before everyone said
atmospheric
perfect?
reentry where some of those temperatures
No
spike
whacking
up as high
furries?
as about
Great.
2600 degrees Fahrenheit. That's
All right,
one of the
because I
real big
usually
things
want to
we're
be a
still
bit
working on.
louder than
Rapidly
the
reusable heat shield
on-stream
has never
commentary. It's
existed
good.
in history.
Great.
So
Yep.
just continuously
Okay.
improving on it right now is
Excellent.
just a key
I'll leave
focus
it there.
for
I
all
won't
of
touch
these
it then.
flight tests.
And then there, in between the first and second stages, is
Good.
our hot
Yep.
stage.
All right.
We saw that in action
Excellent.
first, starting on Flight 2. The hot staging maneuver is when the upper stage engines are ignited before the booster engines are completely cut off.
Excellent.
With hot staging, the rocket never stops accelerating during separation. So it's actually more efficient than traditional stage separation, even though it sounds kind of crazy.
So, yeah,
You
I-
can see it there on your screen now.
Can I find the flight profile?
That is one of the updates
Like-
that we made on Flight 2, thanks to lessons that we learned on Flight 1. Several of the improvements
saw it on Twitter
and
the other
upgrades
day,
made for
8th
today's
flight
flight will unlock
test.
our ability to fly longer missions, something that we'll want to start doing, as we start doing orbital flights around Earth, and of course,
Starship
eventually to
8th.
Mars.
And
Yeah,
ship
it's not
definitely has
it's not going
a
into
lot of
orbit.
lessons learned on Flight 7, but Super Heavy Booster put on one hell of a show for our second ever return to launch site. And
So the whole
Marked our
thing
first
will from
reflight of
liftoff
hardware,
to
shout out engine
Starship
314,
splashdown will be an
and it brought
hour
us
and
a lot
6
closer
minutes.
to full reuse. For more on that, get
And
ready,
we're
Internet.
33
We're gonna
minutes
be
away
joined
from
now
launch.
by our buddy Chris.
They haven't given
out
us
in
any
Hawthorne.
update.
How's it
I'm
going,
sure they
Chris?
would have given us an
And
update
thank
if
you,
something
Dan,
was
and I couldn't
wrong.
agree
So I
more.
assume it's
Raptor
all systems go.
134 definitely started us down that path toward rapid reusability.
They're doing the
for
Starlink
Raptor engines, and who
Starlink
knows,
simulator
maybe we'll see it
again.
Stay tuned.
I can
Welcome
give you
everyone
this.
to Hawthorne,
Hang on.
California. As you can hear, excitement is building as we
There we go.
count down to Starship's
Yeah, so
8th
this is the
flight
flight
test.
timeline. So this is
Behind
from
me, you
Wiki.
can see
Oh
one
no,
of
this
our
is
mission
flight
control rooms where
Starship
engineers
flight
here in
test
Hawthorne are
8.
assisting our flight
Someone's
control
Johnny on the
teams in
spot.
Starbase, keeping an eye
Oh,
on
someone's
various
updating
systems
it in
like
real
Starship's
time.
avionics, and of course, those
There's a key
powerful Raptor
Wikipedia
engines
person
that have
updating this in
quite a
real
workout ahead of them
time.
today. Now, the
Unbelievable.
Raptor engines you'll see and definitely hear today
Nerds.
were manufactured right here in
Nerd.
Hawthorne, California.
Nerds.
On today's flight are
Ogre
all Raptor
from Revenge of
2
the Nerds.
engines, which is the same design we've been using for Starship's
Yeah,
flight tests
someone's
to
updating the
date.
Wikipedia
And
page
that
in real
includes
time.
all of the
That's
engines
great.
that have powered the 2
So,
Super
yeah,
Heavy boosters back to Starbase
so yes,
for catch
hour
and
and 6
recovery
minutes.
by Mechazilla.
So yeah, they'll be
SpaceX would like to
doing the
continuously improve our
Starlink
designs
simulator,
by
which they tried to
eliminating
do
the
last
parts we
time, but
don't
of course
need.
they had
We
it on
call this
board last
applying
time.
the
They had like the
algorithm,
Pez
and
dispenser
that
and they had
helps
the
us
dummy loads
simplify
in there.
designs and
But
drives us toward
of
rapid,
course the thing
reliable reuse. And that's just what we're
thing
doing
blew
with our
up over the
Raptor engine flight,
disintegrated
you can see here on
over
your
the
screen.
ocean,
I
over
love
that
the
no, the
photos
island.
of
We've got that
happens 'cause
great
it really
footage of it
shows you the
disintegrating.
unprecedented
But they know
step
exactly what
forward
that
in
was.
rocket
It was
design
some
that rocket
leakage
history
in
is.
one of the
And you
pipes
can
in one of
really
the
tell that we
unpressurized
applied the
sections.
algorithm here,
So I heard
questioning
that
the
they've
requirements for the engine,
that they know
finding the
exactly what
parts we
caused it,
didn't need,
and
then optimizing
it was
for
build-up of the
manufacturability
stuff
and
in there, so it
reuse.
couldn't vent it.
Now,
The
one of
vent
cool
holes
things
weren't
about
big
Raptor
enough or
3 is
something.
that it
So now I
eliminates
think
the
they've
large and
installed
heavy
another
engine heat
some
shields,
sort
which
of
means
gas
that
in there,
when
which
we move
then
from the Raptor
it's
2 to the
not.
Raptor
It doesn't
3 engines
pressurize
on
that chamber,
Starship,
but it
each Raptor
forces.
3 engine is
But
gonna
they can
save us
actually
about
release the
1.1
gas from that
metric
and force
tons of
the
mass.
other
That's a lot of mass
leaking
when you
gas
multiply that
out.
by
So if they
39
detect that it's
or more
leaking, I guess they
engines.
trigger it,
So Raptor 3
and
will
then
help us
it
increase
releases
Starship's,
another gas, which then
efficiency
boom
as
forces
well
it
as
out,
the
so it
amount of
can't
mass
catch a
that
light
Starship
or
is
something
able
like
to
that.
deliver to space. And
Uh,
I gotta say personally,
That's-
it's really exciting to be looking at
It
the engine that
sounds a
will
bit
make
of
life
Band-Aidy,
multiplanetary, beginning
but
with Mars. But
yeah.
before we get to
Anyway.
Mars, we still have a lot of important and
You're not
critical
getting to
development
Mars.
work to do,
Shut
and
up.
it's flight tests like today's that help us do just that. So as we get ready for flight
Well, they
8, let's
might,
take a
but
look
just
back at
can we
last month's
concentrate
Flight
on
7.
like getting to orbit and then refill in the damn thing and then get into the moon, please? Like, you know, just do a moon shot. Can we like concentrate on that? I mean, jeez.
Flight director.
That's the only thing I don't like about this whole thing is they keep crapping on about Mars. And I'm a Mars fanboy. I've got the t-shirt. Get your ass to Mars. Right? I'm a huge advocate of getting humans to Mars and getting more missions there and everything else. But it's just the wrong time to focus on this shit. So, anyway. Whoosh. Off it goes. Look at that. Whoa. Camera shimmy. Or atmospheric shimmy. The shots they're getting are just incredible. They're just amazing. Can't believe it.
Vehicles.
Oh, anyway, what I wanted to do is capture the comments. So I will add source,
Thank you.
desktop capture, smart selection,
Stranger cut off.
and I will get the last 4, 5 comments
Stage
maybe,
separation.
because I don't want to.
Who's pad fire startup?
Don't want to cover up too much of the screen. There we go. So it'll chop off some comments depending on how big some other comments are.
Mr. Return.
Still wouldn't know how they avoid the pogo oscillation that doomed the N1, which was a very similar setup. Well, they've nailed it. I mean, whatever went wrong on the N1, they've nailed it. Because this super heavy booster, I said this like 3 flights ago or something. This thing's ready to go. This thing's you could be a paying customer, you know, you could be Uncle Sam putting some super secret military, you know, nukes on top of this thing and launching them into bloody orbit. And you can be pretty confident that this super heavy booster is going to do the job. Ironically, the most reliable thing about this whole Starship thing has not been Starship, it's been the super heavy booster with the 31 bloody engines. It's incredible. It's had no payload weight in it yet. Well, they've got some dummy loads on this. I don't know how many tonnage. Yeah, I know there's no payload weight in it, but I'm sure it gets off the pad no problem. So I'm sure, like, it's just a matter of putting extra weight on there. I don't think that's going to impact extra weight. I don't think it's going, unless you reach the limit where it doesn't take off. But as long as you're above the thrust to weight ratio, I don't see a problem.
In excitement,
The super
watching
heavy
that
booster
and
is
in
just so
anticipation knowing
reliable.
that we're gonna hopefully get to
Now,
experience
it's
booster cuts
crazy.
again. I
With
know
31
seeing that
engines,
first booster
I
cut, I'll
thought
never
when this
forget.
thing started, I thought that's going to be the problem.
Now, using the data from Flight 7,
And-
we've made some
oh,
key
Flight
improvements
7?
under the hood.
Key
for today.
improvements, here we go.
Flight 7 taught us a couple of important things that changed some of our pre-flight testing to help us investigate more. First, we saw a harmonic response several times stronger in flight than we saw in testing.
And harmonic response, in this case, it's essentially vibrations that we're seeing go through the structure.
Yep.
Rocket engines, as you can imagine, create an incredible amount of noise and vibration, which
Are they
then
talking about
passes
Starship
through
or
every
Super
component
Heavy?
of that rocket. And on Flight 7, we saw those vibrations happening at a very specific frequency. and they were placing some extra stress on that hardware in Starship's propulsion
Yeah,
system.
yeah, they're
This is
talking
most
about
likely
Starship
what
here,
led
not
to
the
propellant
super heavy
leaks that we
booster.
saw that eventually cascaded into fires.
Wow, look at
and
that shot.
ultimately ended with loss of contact with the ship.
As part of our investigation, our team
That's
at Starbase
gorgeous.
took this flight's ship through a 60-second static fire on the Starship test stand, which is 10
Wow.
times longer than any previous
nuts.
static fire. During this test, we cycled through multiple throttle levels. In fact, you can see that on your screen
Right,
now.
so they'll sweep
We
in. They'll
cycled
do
through
a
multiple
doing a
throttle
sweep,
levels on the
frequency
engines
sweep.
to recreate different conditions seen within
For the
the propulsion
vibration.
system during flight. And we tested some
Sweep
hardware
testing.
changes on fuel feed lines to the Raptor vacuum engines.
This gave us just the extra data that
Oh,
we
look at the
needed
swirl.
to
I love
eventually
that.
implement new hardware that's
Wow.
installed in those fuel feed lines for the
It's
RVAC,
incredible.
the Raptor vacuum engines. Also tweaked a couple of other things like the temperature of the propellant as we're feeding it to the engines. Also the throttle level that we set for those engines during ascent. Having the ability to do a 60-second static fire, just one of the ways we're trying to expand our test capabilities here at Starbase. You want to test like you fly as much as possible.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That just helps us to iterate even faster.
Yeah, exactly. The fuel feed lines to the Raptor vacuum engines, which are unique to this upgraded
worries,
version of
Mississippi.
ship, look like large straws running through the oxygen
Thanks for
tank.
joining us.
Today's vehicle has one of the
Hey,
hardware
Sheriff.
configurations we tested in that extended static
Fluffy.
fire because it
Satchel.
showed it was able to minimize the
FTT,
harmonic
the
response
Lamb, Ken.
and lower its amplitude or strength.
We
Rit
also
user?
took another look at where those fires broke out, specifically in what we call the attic. That's an unpressurized space between just the bottom of the ship's liquid oxygen
the attic.
tank and the top of those engine heat shields. Fires in that space resulted in a loss of vehicle back on Flight 2 and also on Flight 7. So we took some steps to make it more
Oh.
resilient to leaks in the future.
That was
To do
cause
we
for
added
two.
a pretty hefty
Okay.
purge system. It's going to use
Yeah,
gaseous
this purge
nitrogen.
system.
It's pretty similar to the CO2, the carbon dioxide system we use on booster. It essentially
Right.
just floods the zone with an inert gas to prevent a fire from ever
There
starting.
you go.
And then in addition to this, we increased the attic's natural fire defense just by adding some additional vent holes. That helps to keep the attic pressure as close to just vacuum as humanly possible. As
So I
Starship
assume they
flies
just do
into
that
space.
automatically. It's not
And
based
for
on a
the
leakage
next
trigger.
generation of ship,
assume
we're running
they
the
just
algorithm.
automatically
We're going to try and do the next best possible
pump in
thing
the
and
inert
delete
gas
some of the
into there
unnecessary space.
and
So
to
that
prevent
ship will
fires.
be using Raptor 3 engines, which will let us reduce the attic volume and
Good,
eliminate
Sheriff.
the majority of joints that can leak into the space. In the end, what you're seeing take place with these changes is the core of our test program. We fly hardware all together in a real-world environment.
So the audio is
We
still good?
learn from
Their
the
audio
data,
level
we
is still
we
good
make
compared to
upgrades,
mine?
and then we fly
Nothing's
again.
been adjusted.
Ultimately,
Hey, Ian
we
Scott
fly to
Johnson's in
learn,
the
and
house.
We're learning a lot.
It looks evil.
That's right. Now, for today's flight test, we're going to be
I had a
attempting
great
to do
shot before.
everything
It
we
was
didn't get to
gorgeous.
do
This one's
on
great
Flight
as well,
7.
but
We're still looking to get our first re-entry with this upgraded version of ship.
amazing.
Also intentionally trying to stress it to gather real-world data on just where the vehicle's
Yeah, they're
boundaries
still
are. So
data
don't be
gathering.
surprised
Audio's
if it's not
good.
a smooth
Thank you.
flight down
Morning
to a
from
landing
Germany.
for ship today.
Hey, whiskey.
As always, is going to start with liftoff. The 33
Two banana lift.
Raptor
No,
engines
they've
on
got
super
the
heavy igniting,
they've got a
flipping
Pez
both
dispenser
it
in
and
there with
Starship
dummy
into its
payloads.
ascent, and it's going to power
So
us
I
all the way
presume
until hot staging.
It's
Yeah,
like their
those,
weight
engines
appropriate
on the ship will
to the
ignite
what
while
they
the ship
would
is still
put in the
attached to
Pez dispenser with the
booster. This
Starlink, with the
will,
new gen
create that
Starlinks.
stage separation that we see there. Second stage
Gulf
will
of
continue
America,
to
there it
go on
is.
its way.
Gulf
The
of
booster
America.
will make a flip and come back
USA,
here to the launch
USA,
tower,
USA.
just behind Dan and
America.
for hopefully what we will see the
Gulf
third
of
ever
America.
booster catch.
Fantastic.
Meanwhile, ship continues its ascent, gets into its suborbital place in space. We're going to have a test satellite deployed.
Suborbital
Starlink's
again.
firing out. And then we're also
It's a
gonna
big
do
planet,
Raptor
isn't it?
relight,
Look,
relighting one of
and
those
it's going to
little
land
planets
somewhere off the
before
coast of
the
Australia.
re-entry.
troubleshoot by the state machine did
And
not
the ship
And I
will
assume they have
continue
some
to
resources
make
over
its
in
entry phase that lasts for
WA
a
over
few
there,
minutes.
Western Australia, to go get it. Google
And if
were
some comms
apparently
did just
under
go out, we
obligation
heard that an operator
to,
hold got in, so they are
it
troubleshooting
wasn't
one issue
Google's
as we
choice,
continue
apparently.
to
They
move
were
through
sort
prop
of,
load. We'll get some
they
more
mentioned,
details
I
on
think
what
they
caused the
officially
hold.
mentioned, we're
And if we
obligated
start
to call
reset
it Gulf
to
of
a new
America.
T0. We are still
once
loading
it had-
prop
'cause
on the
it's
vehicle.
Been
So
officially
essentially putting that
legally
hold in
changed
means that
by the
if
US
we
government,
get
and they're a
through
US
everything
company,
and we
so
hit that
apparently they,
T-minus
I don't know, there
40
was
second mark,
some
we'll hold
thing,
there
some
and wait to clear
requirement.
the issue. If we
There's
haven't
some
cleared
little
it, at
legislation
some point in
somewhere
the
which
next
says
20
that they
minutes.
had to
Yeah, for
They
those
had to
that are
change the name.
unfamiliar, that T-minus 40-second period is an opportunity to troubleshoot,
Payload is
unlike our Falcon
radiated
timeline. So we do
haggis.
have a little bit of leeway.
Does anyone know the
Continuing
weight
on
of the
with,
payload? Does anyone know
today's
the
plan,
how many
that ship
tonnage
will,
they've got on it?
be making a
Because
soft
they've got the
splashdown
PEZ
in the
dispenser
Indian
and they
Ocean,
apparently
as
have
we
the dummy
seen
loads,
before.
and they're going to try and
We're
I think they're
launching
going to
at
try and spit them out.
5:45 p.m.
That's part of the
today.
deployment.
This evening launch will allow us to have daytime views of the ship as it makes its splashdown. So
Yeah,
good news.
It's a lot on
daytime
ship's
view
plate,
of the
but we're still
splashdown. Great.
Focused on finding all of those real-world
Nice.
limits of Starship. We want to be able
Oh,
to
there we
prepare
go.
to
Here's the
return
nose.
ships to launch site and catch it. A lot of these recent upgrades are just made to enable that to actually happen.
Flight 7 premiered a huge block of
Flight 8.
upgrades to the
So-
upper stage to add more capability to
Yeah,
Starship.
they're going to do a
And with Flight 8
simulator
today,
satellite
we're hoping to
deploy
get through
demo.
a full
So
flight.
they're actually going to, I think they're going to try and PEZ dispense shoot out a whole bunch of dummy loads.
And shifted toward the top of the vehicle and away from the heat shield, and that will significantly reduce
We'll
their
see.
exposure to re-entry heating.
They
Also,
cannot have
by
a
making
payload
Starship
without
2 meters
Raptor 3.
taller, we added
Really?
about 25%
Well, they've got a
more
payload
propellant volume,
today.
along with propulsion.
I don't know how
upgrades
much it
such
weighs,
as vacuum
but they've got a
jacketing of
payload.
The feed lines, new
Technically,
fuel
Starship
feed
is a
line system
payload.
for Raptor vacuum engines, and an improved propulsion avionics module.
Yeah,
people are
ship's
still
got a little
seething
bit
about
taller.
people
That
have
extra
Elon
prop's
derangement
gonna allow
syndrome,
us
unfortunately.
to fly those longer missions. We're not planning on stretching it a whole lot more beyond this in future ones, but then
I'm
once
sure
we're
they'll
flying
come down
the
pretty
next
quick,
version a lot,
Sheriff,
it'll be
because
going.
I think the
Just
Starlink
like the previous
satellites, don't they
flight,
have
a lot of
active
tiles have been
propulsion to keep them up there? So I think these
purposely
ones would come down real
as,
quick.
again, we're
They're
trying
just
to
dummy
stress
weights.
test all of the
And
vulnerable
they're not
areas, as well as the missing
and they're
tile
not
test.
going to orbit
Those tiles
anyway.
are removed
So
in
they're not
strategic locations all
well,
across
no,
the
actually the
vehicle,
regular
including
Starlink
critical areas
launches
like
don't go to
those
orbit, do
tanks,
they? They just go up.
and
Do
over
they?
the flap seals as
Don't
we
think
use
so.
this flight to just really push those boundaries.
I don't know enough.
In addition to that, we have some metallic tiles again that are being tested.
Got some different
including
tiles.
one on
Yep.
the right of this animation that has
They did that
some
last
active
time.
cooling built in.
Active
vehicle's
cooling.
avionics also underwent
Wow,
a
they got some
complete
test
redesign
tiles with
things
active
like
cooling.
4 upgraded Starlink terminals, combining Starlink, global
Look at
navigation,
upgraded
and
Starlink
RF
terminals again.
communications. You can see that location.
The
there
last
on
ones
the
have been
screen.
amazing.
And on the sides of the vehicle,
catch
non-structural
fairing.
versions of the ship's
Yep.
catch fittings are installed to test the thermal performance, along with a smoothed and tapered edge on one section of the tile line to address
Oh,
hot
you don't
spots
want
that
it to
we observed
catch.
during Flight 6.
Well, you do want it to
And
catch, but
once more,
only
we're
on
back
the
testing some
catch
radar
hooks.
sensors on those tower catch arms. We did that
Yeah,
last
the radar
flight.
sensors, they had
We're
those
doing it
last
again
time, I
as
think.
We look for
The
some additional ways
additional-
to measure the
yep.
distance between the arms and the vehicle. Catching the ship's going to be pretty different from catching the
They've-
booster.
they've
It
caught
does
it
that
2 out of
flip
2
right before,
times.
So your
100%.
antennas are going to rapidly reorient.
Although there
And
was
so
one
just
that
having
didn't,
any
they
extra
aborted
sensors on
before the
ground
tower,
side,
but that had
you're
nothing to do
adding
with the
extra
tower. But
layers of control,
2 out of
while the
2.
ship and tower talk to
So
each other
my
before
official
launch.
prediction
In
is
another
that
first,
I think
Starship
they're going to
will
nail
deploy-
this.
will deploy
I
4
think
Starlink
that
simulators.
it'll
They
go
are
100%.
similar in size to
I'm
our next generation Starlink satellites,
95%
with unparalleled payload
confident
capacity and
that
full reusability. Starship
the
will be able to
Super
deploy
Heavy
our more
will do
advanced
its
V3
job,
Starlink satellites,
and it'll
which
come
will
back. Now, whether or
revolutionize
not it
global
actually goes for the
connectivity with
tower
Starlink
catch,
all
once
over
again, I
Each
don't know,
one
you
of
could
those
almost say it's a
Starlink
50-50
V3
because they've got
launches
so
on a
many
Starship is
sensors in
gonna
there,
add
so
about
many
60
sensors that
terabits
have
of
to give the
capacity to
go-no-go
Starlink
for
network. To give you some
the tower
context, that's
catch.
about 20
But I think
times the
once,
capacity
if it
of
does
what
go
we're
for the
adding with
tower
every
catch,
V2
I'm
mini
90%
launch in the
confident it's going to
Falcon 9
catch it
right
again.
now. That's going to help us expand
Yep.
Starlink's network,
So,
expand its
I-
impact in the coming years. As we
Overall,
expand that access
like,
to high-speed
and to
internet
have
all around
Starship,
the
will
world,
Starship survive
eventually
re-entry?
beyond.
I don't know. It's still
And the
testing.
Starlink simulators that we're
I'm probably
deploying today,
80%
they're gonna be on the
confident
same
overall
suborbital
that this
trajectory
mission
as
will be
Starship.
a
We expect
complete
them to demise
success.
as they enter in the atmosphere.
I'm
And
pretty
then Starship's
confident.
trajectory itself looks
I'm
very
pretty
similar
confident.
to our last several flight splashdowns targeted in the Indian Ocean.
But as I said,
And on top of
Starship's
all
still
of
the
that,
unknown.
we're also gonna relight
The
a single
Super Heavy
Raptor engine
booster
again
is
while
just
in space.
nailing
We're
it.
just trying to get data
I can't
on
believe it.
in-space Raptor
With the
burns.
30
You're
what,
gonna need
31
those
engines.
for deorbit burns when we're doing orbital
So
missions.
here's the PEZ
Eventually, when
dispenser.
we're
So
doing
they're
missions
going
way
to
beyond
spit
Earth,
out
we're on
actual
our way to
loads. So
Mars.
these must weigh
So just like
quite
you
a
said
bit.
earlier, Dan, there's a lot
Sure, they don't
on
weigh any.
Starship's plate
Sure, they
for
don't weigh
today.
nothing.
But one of the hallmarks of these Starship
worries, Grant.
flights are the incredible views that we get throughout the flight, courtesy
Yeah,
of
100. Yeah,
Starlink.
the tower
Every
catches.
day,
Yeah,
we're
I'm going to
working to
upgrade
expand
from
the Starlink
what did I say,
network
90%
both
for the
on
tower
Earth
catch. Yeah,
and
it's
in
nearer.
space. For
It's
how all of this
95%.
connects us to the big
It's
mission,
like
let's
they've
head back to
really
Chris.
dialed it in. They've already got 2
Thanks,
from
Kate.
2.
And as fans
But
of
nothing's
Starship,
ever
we know that
100%
Starlink
in
enables us
rocketry,
to bring you a
right?
lot
So,
of those
you know,
unprecedented views,
yeah,
both from space
95%
and on
if they
Earth.
go for the tower
Personally, I
catch.
love all
If
those
there's
epic
some
views of the
unfortunately,
plasma
there could
wrapping
always be
around
some
Starship
dodgy
during your entry show. Thank you to our
sensor
Starlink team,
somewhere
so
when they're
enable
coming
all
back
of
down,
those
and that
amazing
just
views
that one
and the
stupid
information we
sensor,
get. Now,
and they
in
can't
addition to the
override it. I
dozens
think
of
it's
cameras on
automatic.
Starship itself, as you see
That
on
just
your
goes
screen
no,
here, we also
no
have
go,
mobile
and then
Starlink camera
it
kits to
diverts
put in the
away
middle
from the
of
tower
aviation,
to a
as you're seeing
controlled
from a previous
descent in the
flight.
ocean for safety
Starlink also
reasons.
allows us to connect our aerial
So yeah, there's
cinematography
always a
units on the
chance of
ground
that.
at
There's always
Starbase
a
and at other
decent
strategic
chance of a
camera
stupid
spots around
sensor
Texas
somewhere.
and the world. And it's all part of how it comes
99.9.
together to
You've
help us tell
revised
the
it.
incredible story of
Confidence is
Starship,
high.
both
I
on
repeat,
and
confidence
off the
is high.
planet.
Oh, look at that
So
shot
thanks
from
to
the.
so thanks to Starlink, Starship
the
is
boy
now
there, that's
capable
great.
of streaming more than 120
Yeah, I'm
megabits
pretty
per
confident.
second of
And
real-time,
did you watch the Blue
high-definition
Ghost
video
lander?
and
That was
telemetry
amazing.
through
They
every
nailed
phase of
that.
flight. This not
I
only
was
provides
my
those
confidence was
incredible
high
views
on
of
that Blue
re-entry
Ghost
for all of
lander,
us,
and my
but also
confidence
the
is high on this one.
invaluable
I think
engineering data to
this
help our
one
engineers rapidly
is going to
iterate
do the
across all
business.
systems of Starship. And all
Dummy
that training
payload
data today
donated by
will be
US
put to good
Department of
use with the
Defense.
more than
Yeah.
30 cameras that are on the vehicle for today's flight.
Dummy payloads.
Now, Starlink is the world's largest satellite constellation operating in low Earth orbit to deliver high-speed, low-latency
I just watched a
broadband
video
internet.
that
This
bloody
provides
Rocket
internet access
Labs
to
in New
people around
Zealand
the
are
world,
doing their
many
own
of whom have never
Starlink
had
alternative.
connectivity before.
What?
As of today, Starlink is serving more than 125
Rocket Lab, by the
countries,
way, Rocket
territories,
Lab are
and other
nailing it,
markets,
man.
and has more
They've
than
got a
5
huge
million
business
active
going on. They've had like
customers and
60
counting.
successful
To meet the growing
flights.
global demand for
They're just
high-speed
flying
internet,
under the
SpaceX
radar.
recently expanded its
And they're
factory
just
at Bastrop,
routinely
Texas,
doing these
and
launches
introduced
for
Starlink Mini
paying
as well
customers
as an
galore,
upgraded version of
and
the
they're
Starlink
apparently
standard
doing
kit.
going
Here's our
gangbusters.
first ever look inside our brand new Bastrop facility.
Yeah, Blue Ghost was terrific. First commercial company to ever land.
There's
Ooh, we got a
interesting
pick and
stat
place.
Where like the odds of being struck by lightning in your lifetime are like about 1 in 15,000, and we make 15,000 dishes a day. If the odds of a
Starlink
defect
production.
happening are
Oh, well,
the
look at
same
the
odds
Starlink
of being struck by
production
lightning
now.
in your lifetime, it's almost guaranteed to happen one time in this factory a day. So you have to have like a very intense focus on quality.
This is a Starlink. Yeah, apparently they
Right
have
now,
the
we're in
largest
Pasco,
electronics
Texas,
manufacturing
at
facility in the
Starlink
US.
Manufacturing site, just about 20 miles east of downtown.
Look at their
Austin.
line.
So the main
Look at that.
function
I'm
of
sure
this
that's
site
not
is
their
to
only
produce
line.
Our standard Starlink kits. Right now, we're producing 15,000 a day. to
They
the
do
factory.
everything in
Raw
America.
plastic pellets come
I believe.
in,
Well,
raw
you know.
aluminum comes in, and we make
Wow,
those
raw
into-
aluminum?
to the Starlink kits, and then ship them right out to customers.
Wow. I'd love to get a tour of that factory.
When you manufacture the product that you design in-house, you're forced to live with the mistakes. What that means is that you're very motivated to quickly innovate and iterate.
Wow,
such that
yeah,
you
you
can
got. Come
rapidly
on,
improve
you
the
can be the
process.
greatest Elon
Our
hater in the
previous
world. I don't give a
generation of
shit.
the production line
But
was
you've
maxed
got to
out in
give it
terms
to
of
him.
capability.
You've got to
And the
hand
demand
it
for
to him.
Starlink has kept
Starlink
growing.
has
So
been a
when we
massive
sat down to
success.
design this factory
Yeah, it
and
may
this
not be,
version
may
of
or
the
may not be
production
making
line,
money.
we were
Nobody
really
knows,
forcing
you know.
ourselves to innovate.
But you can't deny it's been a huge success, and this manufacturing facility is so impressive. So is the Starbase for churning out bloody starships and super heavy boosters.
The
It's
future of this
incredible.
factory is growth. We're in the middle right now of constructing an expansion to our current factory. We're going to add over
Look at the
1 million
size
square
of it.
feet of manufacturing space over the course of this year, and
Wow.
allow us to continue to insource more of our manufacturing processes, so we can continue to go from raw material to completed kit within the
Raw
walls of this
material.
factory.
Raw
I
material
can't
to
understate the
complete a
hard
kit.
work of all the employees at this factory who've made this
Obviously,
a
the chips
reality.
have to come from somewhere,
Less than
but
2 years ago, this was an empty building with no
bare boards.
employees, and over the last 20 months, we've built a factory
20
from
months.
scratch. We've gone from producing 0 kits to over 70,000 a week, and we've gone from 0 employees to over
70,000 a week.
1,000.
Wow, come on. You got to hand it. I don't give it. Like,
And it is incredible
there's so
to see
many
all of the tech
Elon
in that
haters out
facility
there
that
just
will
'cause it's a
help
cool
millions
thing
of
to do.
people around the world
But
the way
damn,
they
you gotta
want to
hand
use
it to
and
them.
the way
That's
that they
amazing.
need to use that technology. Definitely a lot of good things to come from our
yeah,
Bastrop facility.
unlike most other US companies,
And
they're
while
doing
we're
the
talking about
manufacturing
the
on continent.
infrastructure
Yeah,
that enables
they've
us to do
apparently
all of
it
these
is the
amazing
largest
things, you've
electronics
probably seen some changes
board
recently around
manufacturing
Starbase.
plant in the US.
Coming online this year is the
Unbelievable.
second tower at Starbase, and this
Please
tower has
correct me if I'm
redesigned
wrong.
chopsticks and is built to accommodate the next generation
Bullshit,
of Starship
Sheriff.
and Super Heavy.
Bullshit.
We will have a
Elon Musk is
redesigned
not
launch
an
mount and
engineer.
flame diverter
Watch my
system
video,
built to be rapidly
how to
reusable
become a
and hardy
professional
enough to withstand
engineer.
hundreds of launches at a
Everyone
time.
I know
Now,
who's
over
worked
at
with
the
him
production site down
says,
the road, we're
yes,
also
he
building a
is
new
legit
integration
on the
and refurbishment
technical
facility
stuff.
called gigabay.
You can, you know, there's
And
arguments
gigabay, as the
over
name
whether or
implies,
not
will
he's
allow
as
us to
smart as
process more
everyone, you know,
starships
smart
at
as
the
he
same
makes out
time
and all the
over
rest
our
of it.
current
Whether or not
megabays.
he's, but No,
Giga Bay isn't
he
just for
gets down
Texas.
to the
If
nitty
that
gritty
weren't
of it, and
exciting
he
enough,
is
we're also
actually
further expanding
respected
Starship
by the
operations
engineering
into
peers that he
Florida,
works with.
bringing production
That
and
makes you
launch
an engineer.
capabilities to the Space Coast. As Starship flight testing,
So
development, and
bullshit.
launch cadence
I call
continues to
absolute
pick up
bullshit
pace
in
at
that,
Starbase in
on that.
Texas. Over in Florida, we're building
If you're
Giga
trying to
Bay
make
as
that
well.
argument that Elon
Giga
Musk
Bay
is
will
not
stand
an engineer
380 feet
by
tall
running
and will
these
provide
companies and
about
being on the floor and
46.5
in the meeting, in the
million
design
cubic feet of
review
interior
meetings and in all the
processing
other
space
stuff, and
about
everything I've heard from people
815,000 square feet
who
of
have
workspace.
worked, engineers
Now,
that have worked
as
there, they said,
environmental
yeah,
impact
yeah,
statements
he's
continue
pretty
for potential
legit.
Starship launches and flights from both launch complex
So
39A
yeah,
at
no,
Kennedy Space
I'm
Center
not
and
having
launch
a
complex 37 at Cape
I'm
Canaveral Space
not
Force
having a bar of
Station.
that.
We
Sorry.
plan to complete the
No.
Starship launch pad at Pad 39A this
Engineering
year.
is a
And pending
vocation.
the completion
It
of
is what, if
environmental
your
review, SpaceX
peers
intends
deem
to
you
conduct
to
the
be an
first
engineer,
Starship
you're an
launch from
engineer.
Florida
That's it.
from launch pad
End of story.
39A later this
So,
year.
yep.
Now, we're also
I don't
interested
care
in
if you
enabling
believe it or not.
Starship launches
I
from
know
Slate
people
37.
who have worked
And
with
as
him,
part of this process,
and they
SpaceX
say
has been
he's
given a
legit,
limited
and I
right
trust
of
him.
entry for Pad
And
37
everything,
to
you know.
conduct further due diligence at the
Yeah,
site.
he may not be
In
the
order
world's
to
best
move forward
engineer.
with the environmental
He
impact
may have
study
some crazy
that's being led
ideas,
by the Department
but
of
you
the Air
can't say
Force.
he's not
Ultimately,
legit.
We will have production,
He's not
integration,
credible, no.
refurbishment, and launch
I don't give a
facilities in
shit.
both
He did
Florida
go
and
to uni.
Texas,
He actually has a
driving
degree
the
in
needed
physics or
flight
something,
rate
doesn't
for
he?
Starship to help make humanity a multiplanetary
No,
civilization.
you're completely
And,
wrong.
Kate,
I am
I
me.
could talk about this stuff for
I am me.
literally hours on end, but we've got a Starship to launch
You do
today,
not have
so
to go.
how
Watch
are
my.
things
I've done a
looking,
video
11
on this.
minutes
How to
before
become
launch
a
here?
professional engineer. Watch my video on that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that we're getting close to
It doesn't
go
matter.
time.
And
Quick update
simply
on range
go-
and weather.
Hang on. Update.
For the range, the area around the pad has been well cleared. This includes the land, air,
Cleared.
and sea space.
No dickheads out
all
there
is
in their
clear
dinghy.
on the range front. That also applies to over in the Indian
charging
Ocean.
97%.
The sea and airspace has been cleared
Starship.
as well for ships re-entry. Once again,
everything's
we are
clear.
making a soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean. So just the buoy cams are out there, and we'll get some great videos once again. Weather, we have a 35% chance of violating the weather the weather constraints for launch today. So it's not perfect, but it's not bad. Visibility also not so awesome. We can see the tower here. We're 2 miles away from the launch pad, but
They don't
visibility
care about
around the greater
visibility.
area might be a little
That's
challenging.
just a.
Yeah, in terms of the vehicle
Cool.
itself,
Sounds
so right
good.
now you can see we're almost done
And
loading prop on ship. almost
Next
done
thing,
on
as
booster.
I was
If you
saying,
tuned in and
you
heard
can go
earlier,
to
we
the
did hear
world's
talk
best
about a flight control
university,
going
gets
in,
the
so
world's
just a
best
reminder, all
engineering
that
degree
means
with
is that we
honors,
wouldn't be able
wanky,
to pass that
right?
T-minus
All
40-second
the
mark.
bells
They're
and
literally
whistles.
talking
That
about
doesn't
it
make
right
you
now in
an
the loop that they
engineer.
think they've got the
The
problem
bit
figured out
of
in
paper
initial
does
on
not
the
make you an
booster,
engineer.
where we think
I
we
am
will
a
be clear by about
qualified
the
fitness
T-minus 2-minute
instructor.
mark,
I don't go
and we will
around
be able
calling
to
myself a
move right
fitness
through
instructor because
that
I've got a bit of
T-minus
paper
40,
saying I'm a
hopefully.
fitness instructor.
So,
It's
prop
your
load
vocation.
continuing.
It's what you
We're not
do.
holding or anything yet, and we're expecting that.
Man,
issue to clear
I
before we
can't
get to that
believe people
T-minus
don't
40 mark.
understand this.
This morning, though, we did all of the usual checkouts, aligned the navigation systems, did all of our booster and ship
Please
tank,
explain why
purges,
I
got them
don't.
ready
I
for
don't
prop
have to
load,
explain his
showdown,
bullshit.
the
I've
pad,
I've
which you
called
can
out his
see.
bullshit
All the
multiple
cryo systems
times.
are pretty
How
chilly
many
out there.
times do I have to call
prop
out
load's been
Elon's
going.
bullshit for people to
just
think
a
that I
flat
don't call out his
check
bullshit?
out.
Yes,
We
Hyperloop is
also do a
shit.
wiggle
I've done
checkout
videos
on
on
the,
it,
the
for God's
chopstick
sake.
arms as well. We are going to continue loading prop for about another 6 minutes. We're going to
Oh,
close
man.
ship at about 3 minutes, 20 seconds before launch. Booster just about 30 seconds later. So we've had at least one issue
Yes,
that we're
TDS
still
is a
working
real
in the
mental
background,
disease.
expecting
Yeah,
that to clear before
I
we hit
totally
that
agree.
Kind
Yeah.
of that hold gate at T-minus 40
Stop
seconds.
feeding the trolls.
and
Yeah.
Looking good.
Yeah, so bottom line, things are looking good for liftoff here in just under 9 minutes. We're
Yep.
now at,
All right. Anyone
looks
else
like 8 minutes and
continue to
49
talk about
seconds.
this?
So
I'll
everything's
just
looking
ban
green
you
so
from
far?
the comments.
Before
Seriously.
we get any closer
Just
to liftoff,
don't-
I need
don't
to
bother.
shamelessly plug Starbase. I'm one of just a couple thousand people who work here, soon to be the newest city in Texas at Starbase, and we're the largest employer in the area. We're always hiring, so visit spacex.com/careers, see all the openings. It's where the future is being built, and it's a future we can all be pretty excited about.
All right,
so
keep
yeah,
it up.
come work here.
Keep it up, people.
Anyway,
I'll
back
start.
to our
Seriously, I'll
regularly
start
scheduled
banning
program.
people
Let's launch
from the
rocket.
chat.
All right, so we're coming up to 8 minutes until liftoff. As we mentioned before, flight controllers are already on console. They're located in
No
our
more
Ad
politics,
Astra
no
Launch
more
Control
Elon
Center,
shit.
about 6
I'm
miles
done.
away from the pad. But they will soon be moving here with us to Star Factory. So a lot of excitement around that, certainly growing.
Yeah.
8 minutes.
And again,
Come
general
on.
status check. We're
can
continuing to
do it.
progress. We're under 8 minutes away. We're tracking an issue with booster. We're expecting that to clear.
That drone's a
So
long way
looking
out.
good for launch. Speaking of booster, let's talk about catching one.
Absolutely.
The tower's 2 giant robotic arms that lift and stack Starship on a super heavy.
Yeah,
for
we're
final
confident.
integration
Confidence
ahead of
is
flight.
high.
We also use those to catch. Means we don't have
Although
any
they're
landing lights
still
on the
doing
booster.
so many
Makes the booster
experimental
lighter,
things with
means we can
Starship.
throw
It's
more
just,
payload into space.
it's scary.
Following liftoff and after the 2 stages separate in flight, Super Heavy will return to the launch site.
What's the goal of this test
exact
flight?
launch site that
It's
it lifted
more
off from,
testing.
reignite
It's more
its engines
Starship
to slow
testing.
the
They're
vehicle
dialing
down.
in
Here we see
everything.
playback
They've
from
even
a
got like
previous
test tiles on
booster
there
catch.
that
I
have
believe that
active
was our
cooling.
first
So
booster
they're
catch.
testing the test tiles. They're
And
testing
as
new
vehicles slow down, power arms
purge
will come out and catch the
gases
booster.
in the
And
thing.
just like
They're
the last few
and
times,
they're going to test the
literally
Pez dispenser, of
thousands of
course,
different vehicle pad
to get
criteria
that.
have to be
And
met before we bring a
yeah, I
booster
don't know.
back and try to
Don't know
catch
if that's
it.
going to
We built
work.
these
I don't
systems
have
up
any
super
prediction
heavy
on that
on
at
the
all.
launch tower, and we need that final manual command from the mission's flight director for the day. If that command isn't sent before we finish the boost back burn, or if any of those automated health
comments
checks
can be
kick
so
us
easily
out,
misconstrued.
the booster
Yeah,
defaults to a
it's true.
trajectory, takes it to a landing burn and a soft splashdown in the Gulf.
I am
Yeah,
up
we have
normal
said
time. It
multiple
is
times before,
10:38
but it
a.m.
still
here.
holds true
So
today.
I just
We
came in,
accept no
came into the
compromises
office
when
as
it
normal
comes
this
to
morning,
ensuring the safety
and
of the public
yeah.
and our team.
I just
And
got
the
notification
return
that
will only
on
take
X,
place if the
someone
conditions
notified me
are
that the
right,
launch
and
was
there
an
are
hour
many of
away,
them.
and
So
I just
there's
went
a
live.
chance that we may not get to catch the booster today.
Yeah, and one aspect to the return and the catch of that booster is the audible sonic boom in the area around the return location. That happens as the booster's slowing down from supersonic speeds. It's
The
similar
smoke
to
on the
sonic
ground is
booms
all
that
the
were heard during
it's all the
return and
super
landing of
cooled
NASA's Space Shuttle for anyone that
fluid,
was in
isn't it?
Florida
Sorry,
for those.
not a chemist.
Sonic booms like these are unique to vehicles returning from space and are one of the hallmarks of reusable systems like
Nighttime
our
in the
Falcon
nether
9
regions.
and Falcon Heavy vehicles. The general impact to those in the surrounding area of a sonic boom is basically a brief thunder-like noise.
Winning
And
lotto
I've
numbers
heard
for
sonic
tomorrow.
booms before, but I got to experience my first in-person.
I don't know. I
Starship
just go on
sonic boom,
vibes. I just go on
Flight 7,
vibes,
and
and
I can
I
confirm
called the
it's
Blue Ghost
pretty fun
lander.
to experience.
I said I was 80 or 85% confident on the Blue Ghost lander that they'd nail it the first time, and they did. It's all about the vibe. My vibe is pretty good with this one. I'm feeling like they've learnt enough that I think they're gonna nail this. I think they're gonna nail it. So I'm just crossing my fingers that nothing goes wrong with any of the 20 bloody sensors that will determine the go no go for this catch. And because they've had 3 attempts at the catch, 2 have been successful, and 1 was not unsuccessful because they didn't even attempt the catch. It diverted away before. So,
for reuse.
I was going to ask about Thunderfoot. Is he live? No.
Imagine the excitement is
he's
growing
not live.
here. The crowd is growing. Kate
Vapor is
mentioned our flight
mostly
controllers in Ad Astra
nitrogen
in
that's used to
Texas.
cool down the
Here in
propellant.
Hawthorne, we
Yeah,
also have
yeah. It's all the
controllers
cooling.
on
It's all these
console
cooling
and
tanks.
mission control,
It's all these cooling
helping
tanks
those
down
teams
here
in
and stuff.
Texas monitor Starship
Because these all
carrying
have to be
systems,
super cold.
including the avionics
So you
and
can't
those
just
39
leave it.
Raptor engines that were built
You
right
can't
here
just
in
fill it up.
Hawthorne.
A
Now,
week
with
before,
4 minutes, 30
and
seconds to go,
that's
Dan
why
and
they
Kate,
fuel it
how
just
are
before
we looking
launch.
for a launch today?
It's crazy. This Starship point-to-point thing is bullshit,
are
right? The
still
Starship, we
looking
won't get
good.
passengers
We're
point to
just
point.
about
No,
fully topped out on
it's not going to
propellant,
happen. It's not going to be
on
a
both
thing.
vehicles. The closeout's going to be coming up in about a minute.
Yeah,
on
sorry
ship,
about
and
the,
then about
the
30
mouse.
seconds later on the booster. We are still hearing chatter in the background about the booster issue that we're tracking. We may still be able to pass the hold, but if we
Not
need to hold
IT,
a
just
T-minus
be
40
positive here
seconds,
or
we have
leave.
several minutes that we
Like,
can hang out there.
why?
And
Why?
work to
Why
just
are you
kinda
here?
troubleshoot
Just
those
bugger
final
off.
issues before we get the go. Once we're fully loaded on prop, which
Yeah,
is
it could
coming
be a
up soon,
time
we've
zone
got
thing with
just shy of
Thunderfoot. I mean, he
11
has a
million
day job,
pounds of liquid
and,
oxygen, liquid
you know.
methane on both of those stages.
Whereas
And then
technically
once we're
this
done,
is my
we're gonna
day
see
job,
that we're
so
gonna hear the ground
But I'm not going to
lines
get
do
up at
what's called
3
pushback.
a.m. in the morning
So all
for
of
a
that
Starship
propellant
launch.
gets
So I'm
pushed out of those
fairly
lines
lucky with the
back to
time zone
tanks,
here.
clearing the pad for launch.
Now, in the next few minutes, the guidance system will perform a final alignment. The automated flight safety system will be armed.
I don't know what the temperature is in that cooling tank mist. Anyone know?
Will be performed.
Don't
As we
know.
said,
You
if we
probably
do
wouldn't
need
want to
to
be
hold,
standing
it
there.
would come at that T-minus 40-second mark. That is the point in the countdown where we can pause to wait for final checkouts or pressurization.
Great
Or
shot.
if we need
Look
to
at that.
continue to work through that issue. So once we pass through that
Great shot.
T-minus 40 seconds.
Yeah, so
mark,
as I said
a
before,
number of
I'm more
things are gonna happen
excited
quite
for
quickly.
Starship,
The
for
grounds would
lunar
spin
stuff,
and
although I
ignition
still
systems
don't
come up
like
to flight
Starship
pressure.
as the
ship's
lunar
gonna
lander
go onto
solution.
internal power,
That
and after
gives me the
quick
heebie-jeebies. The
disconnect or
vibe is not
QD
good
arm lockout is
with that.
removed
I
in
don't like it
preparation
at
for
all,
retraction
using
shortly
Starship for
after
human
T0.
moon
And
landing.
as
I don't
we-
like that
once we
idea.
do pass
It's
that
too
T-minus
tall.
40
It's
seconds,
too
we
unstable.
still have the
Don't like
ability
it.
to recycle the count
Don't like it.
under
I like
certain
purpose
conditions
design.
back to that
The problem with
T-minus
Starship
40
is that
seconds
that's a
and hold
jack
there
of
to
all
assess what
trades,
happened, and if we
masters
can
of
proceed
none.
again
It's trying to
to
do
T0,
everything.
but that's
They're
only
trying to
in
do
certain
everything with
situations.
Starship, and
Okay, so we're just about
no,
2.5
never works.
minutes away.
Never works in practice.
We do have a couple of things
So,
like,
but
if
for getting
we hit
payload to the
T-minus 10
moon,
seconds
yeah, it
and
could be
you see
good if
water
they can
start
nail the
flowing out of
in-flight refueling.
out
But
of the
you need
deflector,
bloody 10 refueling
that is a
flights
reason for us
in
to sprint
orbit
for the day,
just to
is
get one
that's
mission
once
of a
it's
couple
turned on,
hundred
it
tons to
doesn't
the
turn
moon.
off, and then we'll have to refill the tanks on both the water farm and the
Pisses
prop
me
farm.
off.
Our team's gotten really, really good at refilling stuff really quick, so we can reposition for about a 24-hour
Oh, sorry,
recycle
JT.
if we
Don't
need
leave.
to,
There's no
but,
need to leave.
Speaking of
we're
things-
coming up.
things-
Sorry, we're coming up just
need to
under
leave. Stick
2
around.
minutes
Have fun.
away. Now hearing we might hold at that T-minus.
Yeah,
40-second
Boeing,
mark while they
unfortunately,
still
Boeing
talk
make
through a couple of
good
troubleshooting
stuff,
steps.
but there's just
But again,
so
if we
many
hold
fingers
there,
in the
we can hold there
pie.
for several minutes, even
It's
with
just,
all prop fully loaded
man.
on the vehicle before we can release the hold and decide to move forward. All right, less than a minute
SLS needs
and a
2 new
half
motors,
away.
does it?
Again, keep your eye on
Don't
the
know what's
clock.
gonna
Look
happen with
for
SLS now.
T-minus 40. We may hold there.
Well, don't
Not
hold.
a rocket launch unless you're talking nonstop in the background until right before you lift off.
Once again, if we hold at T-minus 40 seconds, we have
Come
an
on,
opportunity to
confidence
hold
is
there for
high.
several minutes.
The booster's gonna
This is
like,
unique to
you've got to be
Starship.
like
We don't have
95 to
stability in
99%
Falcon.
confident on the super heavy booster. It's an
As we're about
incredible,
15 seconds away.
incredible
We did
achievement, the
just
super
hear
heavy
we are gonna
booster.
hold at
I'm
T-minus
surprised they don't
40,
have
so
paying
look for the clock
customers
to
for
pause
payloads to stick on top of heavy
when we hit
boosters. Some
T-minus
big
40
military
as they finish
bloody
troubleshooting.
massive. They're probably
And
working
then
on it now.
we'll
Oh, we can
let you
stick
know as soon as we start
massive
hearing
things on
more.
top of this,
And if that clock's
super
gonna,
heavy
when
booster.
that clock's going to start
even
rolling.
if they have to pay for a
So, holding at T-minus 40.
expendable.
The
version.
team's talking in the background, still troubleshooting. And we can hang out here for a couple of minutes.
I am me is 99.9%. You think SLS is good through Artemis 3? Yeah, going to hold, are they?
All right, and it sounds like we cleared the issue on the booster. We're
No,
now
I don't think
holding
there'll be any
for a
unscheduled
late-breaking
disassembly.
issue with ship, so they're talking through that right now.
Late breaking issue.
Dan, you mentioned things that we've gotten really good at.
Come on.
It's incredible to think that we just stacked this vehicle earlier this morning, and we're already,
Yeah,
through
this thing's
prop load.
incredibly
Prop load's pretty much
big.
complete
People
and,
don't realize, like
ready
the
to go.
Statue of Liberty
It's a
is
very
like from
slimmed
here
down
to here for
timeline.
you Yanks.
this
Statue of
by
Liberty
far
is
will
like
be our
that tall
fastest.
or something.
We stacked the thing for the first time ever with these vehicles
is
less
incredible.
than 24 hours ago.
This is insane. The
we
amount
really
of
want to get to a point where
tonnage
we
they're
can,
getting off the ground.
fly
And they're
rapidly,
landing the
fly
damn thing and
quickly as
catching it.
possible.
But as I
so
said,
this
it's
is
not a
definitely-
catch. They're not
definitely
actually
a case to
catching
try and
it
push that
like
forward,
that.
no wet dress
That
or
is a
anything like
misnomer.
that with these
They're actually
vehicles.
landing on it.
Absolutely.
It's just that they're
And,
controlled
should this
and they
booster
shoot
come
and they
back
literally
for
land
a
on it. So
successful
it's
landing,
basically
we
just
were
a
talking
precision
about
landing.
the rapid
And
part
I
of rapid
knew that's
reusability.
why
This
I
booster
totally
may fly
predicted
on
that
a
the
future Starship flight, if we're able to
chopsticks
catch
would
it
be
and,
a success
bring it back
after I
online.
knew that they had dialed in to
those of
centimeter
you that have
accuracy. I
just
think it was
recently
5
joined us, we
centimeters
have,
accuracy.
paused
The
at T-minus
water
40
landings. Once they
seconds,
dialed that in,
just
and
to,
they reported that
assess
they were
and work
within
through
5
a
centimeters, I
problem
went,
that popped
yeah,
up,
they're going
in
to catch
the
this thing.
countdown,
It's going to land
and
on those
we are
chopsticks.
holding
And
here
sure
as the
enough, it
team's
did.
troubleshooting.
And
We
they've done it
believe
2
that
out of
we
2
have,
times. So
figured out
I'd
the
be
solution, and
surprised
we
if
will be able
it
to
goes for the
proceed,
catch again.
But we have some chatter
Yeah,
on
you got to be
some nets
you know,
indicating that we're just holding here
95%
for
plus
a few more
confident it's
seconds.
going to It's going to land on that,
This is
land on
a
the
great
tower again.
opportunity for the teams.
And Starship will
This is
probably do
unique
the same
on
because they've
Starship.
really
We don't
nailed
have
in
this
the
ability on
accuracy of these
Falcon to
things.
hold here,
It's really,
partially because
you know.
there's just so much
So
propellant
yeah, I can see
that,
why they're
it
pushing ahead
takes
with this,
longer
because
as
they
a whole
know
for it
that
to
they've
pull
got
down,
the
with that
rocketry and the
amount of volume that we
rocketry
have,
reliability
compared
and
to
the
Falcon vehicle.
and the
But
positional
this T-minus
accuracy
40
all
second
dialed
hold
in. So
is
it's
pretty
just a
cool
matter of with
because
Starship,
basically
it's a matter of
everything
surviving
that would have
re-entry.
been a scrub,
So
is actually just an
so
opportunity
if somebody
to hold here
somebody
and
ran
work
out
through
there
it.
with the
Or I should say
big
many things,
spanner
not
and
everything. Where, like I said, we're working
tightening
through an
something
issue
up,
now, but
inspecting
we can
something.
Also pause here for
What are they
final
checking?
checkouts or completion of pressurization to get
It
up
seems
to
normal
flight levels. That
because
kind
they
of
called
thing.
it out
So,
before it happened.
It's a nice feature to allow the team to wait for final checkouts or
Right.
assess final prop levels or engine health and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, hit the like button, smash the like button. Yeah, the landing is land. It's not a catch. That's why, like, when I originally first heard the idea, I went, "That's the dumbest idea ever. There's no way they can catch a rocket like this." And then once I got my thinking around that, they're not catching it; they're landing on it. And then I went, "Aha! It's just a matter of positional accuracy. That's it." Oh, Mike's in the house. Turn it off and on again. Hey, Mike. Mike's electric stuff, people. I was reading your thread on the EV blog forum, Mike, about the JLC PCB. Damn, that's cheap. And how you're having issues with the longer board. What a long, thin board is it? And yeah, they changed their production requirements on that for the panel or whatever, and scale model of this for the lab. I need a Lego set. Is there a Lego set? I've still got my Saturn V moon rocket. Look at this. Whoa, hope I don't come a gutser. Look at this bad boy. Look at that. Please don't fall apart, because I have demoed this on live stream before and I did drop it. Or a part fell off. Look at that. Beautiful. That's Lego. That's Lego, folks. Beautiful. I've done a build video of that with Sagan.
All right, if you're just tuning in, we are still holding at this T-minus 40-second gate. We cleared an issue on the booster that we were working up until the hold, still working one on ship. And
It's a great set, by the way. If you're after a great Lego kit to build, Saturn V, it's
several
awesome.
more minutes. If we're not able to resolve the issue,
I've also got the
find a
lunar lander as
workaround,
well.
then we would have to essentially scrub and stand down for the day.
It's up high.
If that does happen, we can go as early as tomorrow, but that clearly
No,
depends on
I'm not
what
gonna
work
take
we
it
might
down.
need to do to
It's
fix
up-
any issues.
It's up high on
so
top of
just
my component
obviously stay
cabinets.
tuned, but right now,
I'm going to come a
we're a little
gutser.
over 5 minutes
with my
into
lunar
this hold
lander.
today. We've got a couple more minutes that we can hold at T-minus 40.
The boys are
before
doing
we
good,
have to
thanks,
kick
Roger.
out. Essentially, looking at a lot of those propellant temperatures on both
Thing of
vehicles.
beauty,
We
joy
want
forever.
those to stay in pretty specific ranges
Come
for
on.
engine startup and things
Is
like
it
that.
hollow,
That's what
the
generally drives
Lego
how long
set?
we can hold at
No.
T-minus 40. So, still hanging
No,
out.
I don't think.
As soon as we hear an
Well,
update
no, some
on
of
the
it.
ship,
Some of it's partially hollow.
we will let you know.
From memory. 2-minute window, is there? Oh, okay. Votes on this being a scrub. Oh, no, please, no. No, come on. You can do it. Light this candle. Come on. An amazing shot.
Starting to sound
There's
like
the
we
second
might have a
tower over
decision
there.
real soon.
Does anyone know the status of the second tower? It's pretty. Well, I guess it has to be close, right? Because all the coolant, all the
All you see
tank.
the clock rolling.
Hey,
It is time to go
We're going.
for launch.
we're going. Let's get this party started.
So, 30 seconds to go. Oh. And
Oh.
we just heard a hold. So we kicked.
No.
Psych. No. So we did kick out back to the T-minus 40 hold.
It's 41. Come on. Go for it. Oh, it's down to 40 now. Somebody went, oh, I'll just dial it into 40. Oh, come on. the Windows
All right, so as
95
we
progress
started
bar of
counting back
countdowns.
down, we did trip a few more holds automatically from the booster itself.
So okay, so the booster
So
triggered some holds. Okay,
We
so
are now
sensor
going
on
to
the
hang out
booster.
here again at T-minus 40. They've got a couple more troubleshooting steps that they can take.
Wonder if
We're
they
able
can
to get through
override that.
We can start counting down again. If not, we could always offload and try again on either tomorrow or another day.
No.
But right now we're not done.
Because
for the
as
day
I
yet.
said,
We're
I
still
don't.
holding at
I
T-minus
think
40
on the
seconds.
booster when it's
And
coming
as
back
soon as we hear
down
some more,
to the
start seeing that
tower,
clock move,
I think
you
they
will
can't
know.
override.
We're gonna go for
Please
our
correct
launch
me if
attempt
I'm
today,
wrong. They can't
or if
override.
we just try it again another day. So
If it's going
keep
to
listening
abort the
in,
tower, it makes that
and we'll have an
decision
update
itself
shortly.
based on sensors in the booster. And I'm not sure if they can override that and go, nah, just go for the tower catch anyway. So I'm not sure what they can do here. If they can manually, surely they can manually override here. Oh. No boom today, boom tomorrow. I'm starting to get the heebie-jeebies that it's not going to launch.
Go.
Go. Somebody said go. Was that a go?
All right, and we did just hear the call. We are going to offload for today, so we had a couple of holds tripped as we
scrub.
started counting down from T-minus 40 again, and it's not something we can change with small config tweaks,
Right.
so we are going to offload
I can't
our
tweak
prop and then try again another
We're going
day.
to offload the
So
fuel,
we're able to
propellant.
fully tank the vehicle. We're unable to lift off today.
Damn.
But just because we don't go today doesn't mean
Wah,
we're not going to
wah,
go tomorrow
wah,
or one of the
wah.
days coming up. So
Oh, well, I guess I'll be
we are
back
gonna
tomorrow.
Start offloading all of that propellant on the booster and the ship. As we talked a little bit earlier, we can go as soon as 24 hours later. We won't know that for sure until we dig
As soon
into
as
everything
24
that
hours,
kicked us out
okay.
of our attempt today. So obviously just
Yeah,
keep
because
an eye
they
on
don't
all of
have
our
like
updates.
an orbital window or anything like
So,
that. They don't have that. It's more of an
We are
airspace
expecting
clearage.
could be about 24
thing.
hours, but we will definitely let people know.
Yeah.
Thanks,
So
Dan.
we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Unfortunately, we would have liked to lift off today, but the teams
Yep.
are
No,
doing
we've
the
come
right
a
thing
gutsa.
and standing down while we.
No, we've come a gutsa. Oh, well. Push the self-destruct button just for fun. What do they do with the fuel? They offload it back into those storage tanks you saw on the ground. So they just pump it back into the storage tanks. No problem. So it takes an hour or something to drain it out. Yeah, damn. Oh, well. Yep, good luck next time. And, yeah, so I'll be, I guess maybe I'll be back tomorrow. I assume it's the same time, same bat channel. If so, that's good for me. Because I'm at work. I don't have to come in late. Like I did for the Blue Ghost lander. Had to come in during dinner time. I had to get permission from Mrs. EV Blog to come in for the Blue Ghost lander. The look on her face. As I realised I'm going to have to leave. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, well, that's it. I guess I better get back to doing something. I've got a video. I've got an excellent repair video coming up. I'll release that tomorrow, but I'll probably just go release that now to the patrons and to the supporters on the forum. And also, I just posted something on the forum. I just got an email offer this morning. Just came in. An very interesting offer. And I've posted it on the EV Blog forum in the supporters section. So if you want to go and give your opinion on that, I won't say what it is, but I've had an offer for something that's that I've always kind of wanted to do. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts on that if you're a supporter over on the EV Blog forum. There's a thread there, you'll find it. And yeah, so that's interesting. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. I'm in discussions. Anyway, yep. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining me. That's a bummer. I can't tell you what the offer is. You have to be a supporter to find out. Anyway, yeah, thanks, everyone, for turning up. 672 people. Wow. Nice. But yeah, no joy today. Maybe tomorrow. Catch you next time.